Welcome to Booming Encore's Tweet Talk. This is where we talk about some of the things that have been trending on Twitter and share our perspectives on what's happening out there. So today I'm actually joined by Mike Drak. Mike is the author of Victory Lap Retirement, and my name is Susan Williams, and I'm the founder of Booming Encore. Welcome, Mike.
Morning, Susan.
Good morning. So why don't we start it off? We just published a really interesting article this week from Dr. Stephen Gallant, and Dr. Gallant was basically talking about the digital divide. And what we're finding in the COVID-19 pandemic is that, the good news is technology is kind of stepping in where a lot of people, if not, previously may have actually physically connected, but it's also identifying that now a lot of people aren't actually being able to connect, specifically older people who may not have access to the technology. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's just wonderful. I wish I was better educated with respect to technology. My wife has a lot of family in Italy. She's very concerned about them because they've been going through some real hard times over there. And it's just amazing to me that she can get on FaceTime and talk to them and look at them, and they can, show each other what's going on in their own homes and things like that. She can visit her parents that are older and she's concerned with. She can't physically be with them, but she can see them. And they can drive by outside in their car and they can talk over the phones and see the videos and things like that. So I think it's just wonderful. Thank goodness we have it.
I agree with you. I think, but what also is Dr. Gallant was trying to point out is that not everybody has access, which makes me start to think that actually, this is a good example of how the internet is actually becoming more of a utility than
Sure.
than a nice to have. And we have to really start taking a look at who's possibly not able to connect and why aren't they able to connect, and do we need to maybe do some more education or provide more opportunities for people to actually connect to be able to use this. And unfortunately, this situation is, I think, kind of highlighting the fact that, as much as you and I and our extended families have access, there's still a lot of people out there, not only older people, but also under marginalized people that maybe don't have access. And that's putting them at a disadvantage, as they're not able to necessarily get the information or possibly even connect with their family members.
For sure. I totally agree with you.
Okay, let's shift topics a bit. Now, there was an interesting article that we shared from Market Watch, and they were talking about the lockdown in China, and what they discovered is after the lockdown, there was a real rise in applications for divorce, and so that this sort of isolation is really putting a challenge on different relationships. So how are things in your house going?
Well, we've had our good days and our bad days, but overall they're pretty good. But it just shows you, we're all trying to deal with stress and a little bit of fear and uncertainty, and there's so much change that came our way, and it rubs on people. And you have to respect each other, respect what you're going through, and get through it together. And I'm not surprised to see the divorce rates go up in China, and I shouldn't say I'm looking forward to, but I can't wait to see what happens in the U.S. and what happens back here home in Canada, because it's a fact of life. People aren't used to spending so much together time, and it reminds me of retirement. What happens there too when two people retire at the same time? They sit down, they say, okay, who are you? I haven't really, paid much attention because we've been busy with our jobs and taking care of our families and things like that. So it's a big adjustment, but we're going to learn a lot from it.
I think so. I think what this may actually do is, like you said, it might identify where there may be some cracks in the relationship. So maybe where people weren't necessarily communicating before, or
Sure.
they've been distancing themselves because of they've been so busy with their lives, they just maybe haven't had the opportunity to really connect with each other. So if things aren't going so well, you probably would find out, I'm sure, in these sort of constrained times. Also, I'm finding, like for instance, my adult son came back home from university, and what's interesting is I'm finding I'm really trying not to fall into the old roles. He's been out on his own for a number of years now, so coming back home is kind of challenging our relationship and making sure that I don't turn into nagging mom and that sort of thing, and recognize that he is an adult now, and as a result, our relationship has to adjust. So I think relationships are being challenged, and definitely, we're all adjusting, and hopefully we'll come out of this stronger as a result.
I think the biggest adjustment is control over the remote. Because my wife loves watching Hallmark movies and things like that. And she'll watch the same movie a number of times. And I just sit there and it just kind of rubs you after a while. But you know what? You have to take turns. You have to give a little. And, hopefully the other person gives you a little too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a test. It's all a test.
It's all a test, and it's all about compromise. So
that's right. That's right.
Okay, so the final topic I just wanted to end on, and which I think is also kind of pertinent to the sort of the environment that we're living in right now, and that's a post that you had published on our site around the need for purpose in retirement. And I'm thinking that same need for purpose in being in a social isolation is probably also critical. What do you think about that?
Oh, I totally agree. When we were forced to be isolated at home, we lost so much. And, you lose structure, and you lose routine, and you lose purpose, because your purpose was, going to work, making money so you could take care of your family. And that's all taken away from us. And we're kind of sitting there saying, okay, what do we do now? And it's important that you come up with new structure, new routines, and find new purpose. So I look at this as a time for self-improvement, because I can't go anywhere. I'm at home. So why can't I look at some things, get some deeper perspective about how I live my life, and what can I do to improve things, right? One of my weaknesses is technology. So I'm learning how to do some more things on the computer. It's the perfect time to do it. And I have no excuses, right? And it really gives you a chance to do this deep thinking, to say, even when we talked about the relationships, am I doing something wrong? Am I not compromising enough? What do I need to do to make this work for both of us? So I think it's important that way, and I think we're going to come out of this thing stronger than ever, but it's going to take some work on our part.
Absolutely, and I keep coming back to you really need a reason to get out of bed in the morning, otherwise
Oh, for sure.
And so if you don't have that sort of sense of purpose, or something that, even if it's just organizing a closet that day, or something to for you to actually hopefully get up and do something and feel like you've accomplished, otherwise the days can just start to run into days, and that's not a good situation, and can often cause people a lot of stress and anxiety. So
you're so right about the sense of accomplishment. You need that. And even when we're at home now, it's good to set goals for yourself, no matter how, major goals, minor goals, as long as you have some goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I have a new sense of purpose, a reason to get out of bed in the morning, because my wife makes me make coffee for her every morning before she gets out of bed.
That's good. So you're actually killing two birds with one stone. You've got purpose, and you're working
It's
on
a
your
win-win. It's a true win-win.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it for today, everybody. We hope everyone is staying safe. And be sure to check out these Tweet Talks on our YouTube channel, as well as follow us on Twitter. So this is where you can find the information that we're actually talking about. Have a great day, everyone. Bye, Mike.
Take care, Susan.